Cool. Good Demetrius. Good ALX trades. All right. Good Edward. Good brother. Good Tony. Actually, I'm still bullish, believe it or not. Morning Succession. What's up, brother? What's up, Leo? Sorry, Pro. What's up, brother? Although we will have to look for a pretty significant reversal, but greetings. What's up, brother? The price label. Oh, okay. Manipulate down, distribute up after New York. Similarly, I mean, we've already kind of manipulated down, so we'll see what we get. But yeah, well, I mean, we'll cover the full game plan and the full bias at 9:25. Previous state equilibrium. Is that what you're telling me? Previous state equilibrium. Yeah, it's right there. I don't want to see it go too far down, personally. I think this hourly SIBI. We'll see. Hard day, not as easy as normal because usually, recently we've been having London lows safe. Now we've taken London lows before New York open, but all the same. Good, Tommy. Mr. Bad, what's our brother? Let's buy for today. We'll cover the full buys and the full game plan at 9:25. Maybe we'll start doing it at 9:23 just to save a little bit more time. So from now on, we're gonna start doing buys at 9:23. Good luck for Bob. We'll cover the outlook at 9:23. You think last 2 days have been super choppy? Not super choppy. I think if you think the last 2 days have been super choppy, then you haven't seen super choppy, you know? But they've definitely not been easy. Hey, yeah, it's been a while. I appreciate you coming back, bro. Let me shower real quick. I mean, yeah, go shower, bro. I don't know, market opens soon. You might have to wait. NVIDIA earnings is today. That is true. So if we're going to pump on those earnings, it would kind of make sense that we move lower. What's your screen size? I recently just bought a new screen. It's 32 inches. Something light, something light. No news Wednesday should be clean. Possible. What's your D size? Yeah, Nvidia earnings could make the market pretty choppy. I'm not gonna lie, because it's actually a pretty big news driver. But we'll see. Daily PO3 pre-market manipulation. That's what I'm thinking right now. But we're gonna have to sit here and wait for a really high probability trade setup. The video is gonna be like 420, 415. September 1st is an early close. Okay, we gotta remember that. Monday, September 1st is early close. So don't trade that day. Go TP5. I think today Nvidia earning push it to the moon after market close. I think that's possible. Use funded next. I actually still have my funded next account because I didn't trade PM yesterday because I was buying a new phone. So I missed PM session, but I got a new phone. So we can trade funded next today, which is kind of a mistake to be honest. It would have been better for me to trade yesterday, risking the profits I made because my drawdown hasn't trailed. But whatever, we're just gonna risk 500 for 2R, and if we can hit 2R, we pass. If not, well, get another. Although we get one more try, but we can always just get another account. It's not a big deal. It'd be nice to pass the first one though. All the accounts are set up. Good, Mastro. 922. All right, let's do a little bit of an announcement, and then let's cover biased. What are the next rules are city, bro? They have one rule, bro. What are you talking about? Yeah, no one rule. 40% consistency, bro. Get a payout in 3 days. That's it. Just get a payout in 3 days. What do you think of their commissions? I don't know what that means, but I don't know what you mean by their commissions. Oh, are you talking about Forex? It should only be a couple bucks, bro. $1 on open and close. Yeah, that's pretty regular. Pretty regular. But look in 10 minutes. We're gonna take the minor low on the left and go up, possibly. Anyways, let's cover. Okay, first let's do an announcement. Listen very closely, because I don't want to hear anyone complain. The giveaway for Alpha Futures ends in 2 days. You have today, and you have tomorrow. After today and tomorrow, let me put that on top. The giveaway is done. New psychology video will be this Friday. I've already worked on the script. We're giving away this full setup to someone who used my code. So if, I'm not telling you to go use my code, but if you trade with Alpha and you use my code, message me on Discord so I can add you into the giveaway. If you don't message me on Discord, I cannot add you into the giveaway. This giveaway the winners will be announced on Friday after trading. On top of this setup, we're also going to give away 2 accounts. And that's it. You have 2 more days. So I don't want to hear anyone complain saying, oh, but I got an account. But nothing. Thursday is the last day. I'm not adding anyone else on Friday unless they have a really good excuse like they lost service for 5 days or something. I don't know. Alpha Zero is 5 days. You just need 5 winning days. I would still recommend the same thing though. So just get the 5 winning days. Don't aim for more than 200. Just get the 5 winning days and request your payout and move on with your life. Take the money. Get paid. Take the payout as soon as you're eligible. It's my advice. Can I show real-time trade without getting blocked? Yeah, of course. I do it every day. I've been doing it every day for like years. Spanish subtitles? Okay. I will try. Okay. Bias. Pay close attention. Look at ES. Forget NQ, because ES is way easier to view. Okay. ES, bullish fair value gap. We traded into it. We traded into it. Closed up. All-time highs. On top of that, daily inversion. Closed above. We have Monday high, Friday high, all-time high. These are all really, really strong draws for the S&P 500. Okay? Whether we get there today, tomorrow, next week, I would personally assume, or at least anticipate, that this is the strong draw on the higher time frame. So the best trades, the BPR wouldn't be here. It would be a little bit lower if you want to annotate it correctly. It would look something like this. The best trades will be long, period. So today may not be an expansion day, but our best bet is to look for high probability longs. So we're going to mark out our key levels that could potentially provide a high probability long. No, I didn't learn anything from Dodgy. So that's the higher time frame bias. Currently, in the day, obviously we've been pretty bearish. Order flow's been pretty bearish. We took out London lows, although we left these equal highs, which I'll annotate. We've been pretty one-sided bullish. It's been one-sided bearish, sorry. We do have a 4-hour bullish fair value gap here. We could still wick that and move higher. I would actually assume that it's going to hold. Maybe not on NQ, but look at ES. Like I said, we're focusing on ES giving us our bias today because it's the one that's with the main objectives. That's clear. This is the ES fair value gap. So ES fair value gap is pretty clear. It does not look like we're going to inverse it. I mean, we're trading into it now. Obviously, we got to trade higher. I'm going to mark out this red line because this red line is an important red line. This red line denotes the bottom of that 4-hour fair value gap. So if we're bullish, we shouldn't really be trading much lower below this line. So if we see a setup on the 1 minute that does something like this, well, we can really see that it's respecting that red line, telling us it's not likely to inverse, telling us it's likely to take the buy side. And that's it. That's what we're going to wait for. So we'll see. It'll likely have to be a protraction model. I don't see myself, I don't know how we're going to take anything else besides that. But if something else forms, we'll take it. I mean, I'm not opposed to taking something else, but I don't see how we could really take a reversal model, being that we're already at the key level we're expecting to be held. So, yeah. And then obviously we're in deep discount. So even if I was bearish, even if I was like, yeah, I really think this is going to go lower, I wouldn't even be shorting anywhere near this price point because we're literally at low of day, below every single opening price. And there's no clear draw on the daily chart at least. So besides, like, I don't know, if you want to target previous day's equilibrium, okay, sure, you can target previous day's equilibrium. That's not really something I ever look to target personally, but I mean, you could. It's not a bad thing. We should respect premium discount there. So either today keeps dumping and we just stay clean, or we wait for price to reverse and trade the protraction. So very easy game plan today. Very easy game plan. You can't really make a mistake. I mean, we can't really make a mistake. Equilibrium is 50% of a price range. So I'll keep chat open for a bit, beginning of stream. And once, you know, we start seeing reversal criteria and stuff. We'll change that. Let's do a quick outlook on YM. So YM a little bit more bullish than NASDAQ. See the 4-hour bullish for value gap. Looks like it's probably going to hold a lot cleaner. If we look at the dollar could be bearish. I mean, we took a London high, shifted, retracing now, so it is kind of a, I mean, no, dollar looks very bullish actually. I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully that changes. Gold futures or gold in general, everything seems to be moving pretty much the same. I would expect gold to also reverse. You could get a really nice long from this 15-minute fair value gap on gold, perhaps. It's possible. Although we did take this high, so I mean, if it forms, it forms. And finally, crude oil. Yeah, same thing. Also bullish. Daily bullish for value gap. We'd have to redo Tuesday's move. Actually, I don't know if this would be bullish. This is probably bearish. Weekly fair value gap. You can probably target this low on the higher time frame. CISD. Maybe if this gives you a short. Anyways, we focus on NASDAQ. So, main thing we want to mark out here, which we're going to have a large one, as you can see, opening range gap. Opening price at 930, annotate that on your chart. That's your opening range gap low. Previous day closing price, 1614. Closing price down here. That's your opening range gap high. Now, since the gap is so large, I'm going to manually annotate the 50% point because I can't just eyeball it really. So you can see the 50% right there, and I'll annotate that. Org, I don't have an org CE, but org CE. Let's make sure it's accurate. Sorry, gotta get precise with this. All right, there it is. So we have org low, we have org high, we have org CE, and then we have all these other levels. Now, I'm gonna remove some of these things we don't need. I guess we kind of do need it, to be honest. So, whatever, we'll just. Whatever. It's kind of messy, but no biggie. They're key levels. We need to know them all. If the 4-hour close is bearish, it's going to be too far in discount for me to short anyways. I'm going to wait for a protraction model. This could be your low of session. It's possible. I'm going to just wait. I'm going to be waiting for a protraction model. Wait for your first presentation to get put in. It is possible today is really, really sideways. I don't know if Nvidia's earnings is going to have that strong of an impact. That morning session does nothing. I feel like if anything, it should make morning session better, but we'll see. Now, if we get something like this, I would take that CISD, but not this one. Yeah, just because Nvidia earnings is green doesn't mean we the market's gonna be green, you know. I hope so though, because I'm in a lot of stocks, so everything was doing way better pre-market. Now everything is down. Lame. Everything was up. Everything was up so good when I checked when I woke up. So just wait. Wait patiently for a first presentation. I know there's a lot of levels here, but just focus on them one by one. Are you September bullish? How am I supposed to know that right now, bro? Why do you mark the opening day? What do you mean the opening day? I buy shares. Bias is bullish. I did mark out 9:30 open. I marked out opening mid gap low, which is, yeah, 9:30 open. Why? The reason is, this is basically one big fair value gap. I can use that to my advantage to gauge how bullish or bearish price is. How do you find the buys? Daily chart. You took the buy? Good luck, bro. Just wait for a first fair value gap. If we haven't put in a fair value gap, not a buy you want. 2022 August, is that Friday? If that's Friday's high, then I do have that level marked out. Yeah, I do have that level marked out. Yeah, you just gotta wait. If it's choppy, just wait. YM. YM looks a little bit cleaner. Give it time. It'll do its thing. I'm eating a raisin muffin. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that good, but it's all I had. So, when you're hungry, anything's good. This is a Judas swing. Brother, this is definitely not a Judas swing. I don't know. Judas swing's an energetic price run. This is just sideways. Why do you have one? Good question, bro. Why do I have a raisin muffin? I guess we'll never know. I'm personally bullish. You have a wife? No, not yet. But I do have a girl. The low is exactly at Asia's. Yeah, that means we're very deep in discount. What's the primary thing you learned about trading in the zone? The primary thing I learned was just the ability to put everything I already knew into words, and that made a difference. And that makes a difference. I'm 5'11". There are a lot of lessons. I didn't really learn anything because I already knew everything in the book. So it's hard to say what you'll learn. But it put everything I knew into very clear words, and that was very nice. It helped me focus more on probabilities. That's a really big one. And I know that sounds like obvious, but I don't think people realize how actually important it is to think in probabilities. So that was probably the number one takeaway. It teaches you why, like obviously why it's probabilities, but it teaches you like really in depth why you need to think about every single trade on its own. Like it'll teach you every single trade is different from the next, you know? And that's just really, really important. Have you watched? I've seen every single ICT video, yeah. I'll look on Bitcoin. I would just still be bearish for now. For now, I'd still be bearish on Bitcoin. This low probably will get taken. Equal lows there, maybe. There's no clear draw. I can't say we're gonna take like a monthly low or something. Previous month lows all the way here. But for now, I would be bearish. There's no reason to be bullish right now. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, just wait to open. Listen, it's really sideways open. Just wait. Or do you consider to execute on yet? No. I'll look at ES, but I'll only execute NQ. Best book? Depends what you need. I think Trading in the Zone is definitely one of the best books out there. I do treat crypto price action the same because there's crypto futures. Bullish? I mean, right now, I'm not bullish. I'm waiting for it to show me that it's bullish, and then I'll take a long. Trading in the Zone Market Wizards? Yeah, I mean, I would say the same. Trading in the Zone is just such a good book, but I really like Market Wizards. Like Market Wizards is a better read for me. I just love hearing about all those stories. And I think there's more Market Wizard books, so I'm gonna just get more. I genuinely love reading about those stories. I don't think people also realize like those people in Market Wizards are like some of the best traders to literally ever do it. The worst PA of all time contender. Hey man, that'd be nice. We can all experience it together. Market Wizards was next for me. It would have been next. Listen, I'll be honest. There's a lot of no, it's a book. There's a lot of parts in Market Wizards where it's like kind of irrelevant to you, where it's like, okay, do I really care about this? So obviously, trading in the zone, every single page is sauce. Like straight up, every single page is sauce. Market Wizards, you just need to know good. You just need to good stories. You don't learn really anything besides the fact that every single trader has a really hard time starting out. Every trader made huge mistakes, lost a lot of money, but they didn't quit. They kept going up. And the most common, this is the number one thing about profitability. This is the most common repeating denominator in every single amazing trader. They have a method to cut their losses, and they have a method to ride their wins. They manage their risk. That's it. They risk appropriately per trade, per day, per month. They ride their wins and they cut their losses. I know it sounds so simple, but those three things is genuinely probably like the most important by far. So if you want to focus on something, focus on that common denominator that every single profitable trader has, which is those three things. Those are the three main biggest things, in my opinion. NVIDIA chart. It doesn't seem nothing too crazy. Going down, yeah, but no biggie. So focus on those three things. What do you think about taking just a one-to-one? It's not a bad idea when you're looking at this. I saw clips saying only retail traders this year buying hedge funds and sell this year all along. Yeah, I don't listen to those dumb clips. What's the best book for you personally ever read? Definitely definitely Trading in the Zone, man. There's no book like Trading in the Zone. No, I don't trade options, just stocks. Old NWOG here, the big one. It's possible. It's gonna be hard to trust whatever forms here. We got a first presentation at least. Try trading for a living. I haven't tried that, but I wouldn't mind trying it. Got a lot of levels marked up here, but let's see if we can expand and get a CISB. Could argue classic model here if we inverse first presentation as well. What's the stop loss looking like? 26 to 50. 8 contracts today, probably. Got the book 2 years ago and haven't read past 20 pages. Yeah, you gotta start reading, bro. I'm gonna be honest. You gotta just figure what you gotta do. This market is pricing in bad NVIDIA earnings. That's why NASDAQ is dropping, as it's less diversified. I wouldn't view that. I mean, it depends. If that's the you can have that narrative. Me personally, the narrative is more simply if NVIDIA earnings are going to be really bullish, for example, market starts moving lower, people start panic selling. You know what happens? People start panic selling, the market starts pumping. Personally, I think that's the narrative. I guess we'll never know. Anyway, there's nothing here shortable, so there's no biggie, you know? There's a Porsche. No, it's a GT3 RS behind me. How old are you? I'm 22. What car do you have? I drive an old Lexus. Previous take 50% level getting hit. Yeah. Monday first presentation. Interesting. So you guys are locked in, man. You guys got the levels marked out. I started trading 2 years ago. I mean, what's the best book for you you've ever read? But not only about reading, I mean in general. I'm gonna be honest, bro. The only books I've ever read are trading books. I've never read a book besides a trading book. I actually hate reading. Um, no, I've been IS 250. I'm flipping bearish. Even if I flipped bearish, I wouldn't be shorting anything. It's gonna be no model. So, is this all you do? Do you have a different? This is all I do, brother. The video earnings are aftermarket. What's your biggest purchase with trading money? Probably this computer. Computer was pretty expensive. I wouldn't take this CISD. No, it's not enough. I'd probably wait for a protraction. Previous PM session low is here. I wouldn't trust that. I'd wait for a protraction. Yeah, I like my car, man. I started trading 2 years ago. I started trading ICT. Um, 2 years ago, yeah. No, ICT 2 years ago, yeah. They're definitely decoupling. If we get a really clean CISD here, I think it's from what? It's not a valid CISD from the 15-minute. Remember, a valid CIC reversal model needs to be from a key level. So if we get a nice ass order block here, 28 points, we'll call it 8 micros. 28 times 2, 50, 50 times 4. 15 would be 3 micros per account. If we get a really clean, there's an inversion. If we get a clean OB, we can try. The 15-minute fair value gap is there. Yes, do anything significant? I mean, I would try it. It's a really good eval trade because 2R should be pretty simple just to get to there. Damn. It's like they manually made that candle go down. Yeah, see that shit? It's like they literally like go down. That's why you wait for the closure, man. That's why you wait for the closure. I would not be feeling good right now if I took that long. I would say that much. Someone probably took that long. They are not feeling good right now. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But I kind of do blame you. Took that long, and I'm in fact not feeling good. I feel you, bro. It happens. It happens. The good news is we could potentially get a really nice order block here. Go on the 4 hour. Nice. ES and NQ look like they are negatively correlated assets. Yeah, I mean, look at YM, bro. YM said green. Taking on ES because yeah, it happens. Don't lie to me about closures, Gaddy. What do you mean don't lie to you about closures? The good thing about longing is even if we're wrong draw, we can still make money longing because we're so far in discounts. There's a large SMT with ES, yes. Every asset has an SMT everywhere right now. You just wait for them to sync up. It's the best thing you can do. If one's going up, one's going down, don't do anything. If you're bullish and they both start going up, there you go. I'm assuming your model forms. You mean the bearish SMT? There's bearish SMT, there's bullish SMT, neutral SMT. Just made that up. Nothing forming too clean. Maybe 10 a.m. will be cleaner. Sequence probably, man. I don't know, but probably. I've been trading since 3 years. I was profitable the second year I made a lot, but since then I can't. Well, go back, see what you did that was successful, and study what's making you not successful. If you don't know what's holding you back as a trader, then you're not doing something right. The beauty in trading is you have full control. You know exactly what's holding you back, you know? You have all the stats, all the journaling, every single mistake should all be there for your availability. You have full control. My best month so far was actually July. And it was not the cleanest month, but I performed really well. Because when we lost very little, and when we won, we won. If a girl was holding you back, if my girl was holding me back, she wouldn't be my girl. But she definitely does not hold me back. Hypothetically speaking, if I had someone who was holding me back, no, I wouldn't just break up with them right away. I would tell them, you're holding me back and we got to figure something out here. Right? You don't have to jump ship right away. I'm assuming you're asking for advice. You don't got to jump ship. You talk to the person, you know? What do you recommend to fix psychology for trading? Honestly, the best advice I can give you is watch my psychology series on YouTube. And learn from that stuff. We did make that ronery, yeah. Where are you from? I'm in Canada. I'm Arab though. It's so boring. It's not meant to be fun, bro. You don't read because it's fun. I mean, some people do. I actually enjoy reading market wizards. This year, how many payouts? I don't know. Maybe 10, 15. Somewhere in the 10 to 20 range. Yeah, you can use this as first presentation. I don't really care about this one. To be honest, there's no synchrony in the first presentation. That's usually what I like to see. But sure, I mean, yeah, you can use it. It's a fair value gap nonetheless. Does it matter if it's the first one, really? If it meets criteria? Here we go. I try not to let payouts be the determining factor of if I'm doing well or not. Well, this is so lame. Like, we're gonna have to wait for protraction anyways. Do I live full time? I cover all my expenses. I save and I invest. And I have money on the side every month. You could take this. Stop's too large for me. We'd have to get all the way to org high. That's not even 2R. I'd opt for a protraction model instead. Or we can buy this as it comes down. Alright, let's close chat. Focus up here. Well, could be a sniper entry. If you're really convinced that it's gonna go higher. Good fills, order block, fair value gap. I'm not too convinced yet though, I'm gonna be honest. The model's there. I'm just not so convinced. I think I'd rather wait for a protraction model or even just buy 50% of this or something because now what you can do is enter like one contract here and then just add one at the high, for example. Alright, let's try this. Wait for ES. I want to put the stop here at 515. But I need to see the OB. This is a trade I'm eyeing right now. A lot better risk to reward wise. We can get 2R just at the pre-market short-term high there. And that's if we get the entry at the high. So I could even get it on a buy stop if we get to like CE closure or something. Stop loss is 20 points, 20 times 2, 40, 40 times 10, 400. So we'll probably risk around 10 on this account. And then, yeah, probably 20 on this account, on these accounts. We got the 30-second inversion there, close inside. I'm probably going to buy this candle. So 30-second protraction model formed. All right, we're going to buy this candle. We're going to try it here. This is coming down pretty fast, but I mean, we're already in, so we shall try this. So scaled down protraction model, 30-second. 30-second inversion is what I bought there off of the 1 minute fair value gap. And hoping that we get the full order block. I'm a little bit de-risked actually, so. I believe this account to pass needs to come like here or something. So we'll just call it the buy side limit there at 585. So yeah, like I said, we're just waiting for the full OB. If we can close above first presentation, that would be good. Close above opening range gap, that would also be good, obviously. 10 a.m. here, see if we can get some range expansion. The idea is if we're bullish, we shouldn't be trading past this low. I want to see first presentation inverse. Not liking the feedback so far, but we haven't taken the low. It's not an A plus trade, but it's on good narrative. It's good risk anyway. We're not fully risked on this trade, so we are slightly de-risked. We can always add contracts should we need to. But I don't think I'll be adding anything on this. Looks pretty bad. Not an easy one to hold. It keeps wicking against us and then for us, and then we'll see. I'm gonna hover the close button in case I need to bail earlier. Is YM? YM gave a good setup. YM, the exact same trade, has only went up 958, right? Yeah. So we had the right idea, I think, in terms of the continuation happening. 958 on what? Look at YM delivering very nicely. I mean, it could just be consolidation in the next expansion. The thing is, the stop isn't the most safe. Well, it kind of should be, realistically. If we are bullish, it shouldn't come back down here. We inverted the 5-minute. Just really sloppy, though. Okay. We get movement above or opening range gap there. It's nice to see. We inverted the 4-hour. I don't need this. What I do need is current AM buy side level. See if we can even get there. No inversion of first presentation. ES takes out morning session highs. Starts to wick pretty. Starts to come down pretty strong. May terminate this one early here. Hard to terminate early because I trust in the narrative. I don't like that 5-minute closure. I guess it's not a bad 5-minute closure. Just a tough trade to hold. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's not an easy trade to hold. YM set equal highs. It's like no follow through. I'm trying to be a little bit lenient because the idea is that this low is safe. And if it's high resistance, it doesn't really change the fact that that low is still probably safe. But obviously you have to keep it in consideration. We could just be wrong. And am I still willing to risk money behind the fact that this is going to be expansion higher? All the stars are aligned and the rocket ship's not moving? I don't know. Tough one. See if YM can inverse that fair value gap. I feel like we want to prioritize YM analysis here. Dirty work, though. I'll tell you that much, man. They win, bro. Whatever they get, they win. They want to make a hard session. You got it, bro. It's a nice candle. If we start overlapping this candle here, I'm gonna close that trade. I really can't be asked holding that. YM did not inverse. If we start overlapping that, like I'd rather just not hold. We got our first solid close into opening range gap. Let's see a move to org CE. My first partial level's here, but just keep in mind on this account, I'm not gonna be partialing. But what I am gonna be taking off here is just a small amount. Small amount we'll go take off like 25% of the position. The reason I'm taking up 25% is because it reduces my stop. I don't want to risk. So just remember, this is an eval. My funders are on the other screen. Taking 25% off at that high should we get there. We may not get there. But if we do, I know what I'm doing. Taking 25% off. I'm thinking about bringing the stop to 530. That's pretty much risk-free. Yeah, let's do it. I'm not risking anymore on this. It's not a protraction model, but we did inverse first presentation. And it's the most recent 5-minute candle low. And we want to see higher highs. There's good logic behind that stop. Make this easy on me. Just give me a straight candle to 25%. Just make it easy for me. That's all I ask. I actually got a better fill on my account, so we're actually break even. So you know what? I don't even care about it anymore. Wait, how many contracts am I in? 20. On the actual accounts, we're like this entry was down here at 2.9. So just so everyone knows, we are pretty much break even on this trade. So I don't know. That was a tough one. But I guess we managed to stick through it, and hopefully we can get our first partial here. Maybe not, but maybe. Good narrative. Small model here. You could full close it here, because I'm going to be honest, it could get real choppy after this, or just fall back down if it's going to stay range bound. But if it's going to be expansive, we have a lot of levels up there, man. We have a lot of levels that can be hit. I really like these highs. This could just be clean for me. Just go right away. No dilly-dallying. Oh, my foot fell asleep. Now YM's going sideways and NQ wants to pump. I think that's kind of funny, if I'm being honest. ES almost at midnight opening price. That's all the way up here. And just for the premise of annotation purposes, I will take the partial here and send this up, whatever. ES is trading all the way up here, so Nasdaq should be speeding up if we're bullish. Hopefully we don't get no retracement here. I don't want to deal with any retracement. Let's give me the 25%. Make this easy for me. Well, it's pretty easy anyway. We're sitting at break even right now, so not a really big deal. Strong candle. The reason I don't like any retracements here is because there's not much to retrace to. Volume imbalance, sure. You want to be that person. There's no like fair value gap here, not to my knowledge. 2 minute, 3 minute. It's all balanced price range. So there's no reason to go lower if we're bullish right now. Besides taking out this low, which means our stop. So we'll see. But there's nothing here. Not on the 1 minute, maybe on the 15-second or something. I suppose we can check. Even on the 30-second, it's all pretty balanced out. So yeah, if it's coming down now, I think this is probably going to hit our stop. But it could just be just sloppy delivery, I guess. There's a small fair value gap here. Eval's not passed. We're trading it right now. Eval's mine at 586. Nice, bro. Keep it simple, Tears. Keep it simple. No, I'm just going to take off one here, but like I said, 25% is what I'm taking off on my funded accounts if we get there. Still don't know if it will. Don't ever get too excited. Don't ever get excited. It could edge us, come back all the way, and stop us. You know, I'll take two just for show and tell. My gut tells me it might edge. 2.5 points. All right, we'll take the partial there. Did I get the, okay, we got the fill on the partial for the accounts. Now I have to adjust my stop to 15. See what we can get out of this. Can we get org CE? On this account, I just want to try to pass, if I'm being honest. I don't know where that is. We figure it out. Probably somewhere up here. I like this fair value gap that we're forming. Can probably bring the stop to 23544. We zoom out. Yeah, that's an immediate rebalance. All right, we're gonna bring the stop to 23544. Now we've locked in profit on a trade that, was not the best to begin with, but add an alert here on ES. We have to keep tabs on whether we're passing the account soon or not. 12, 20, 20 times 10, 200, 700. We took a partial. It's probably around 585. We'll leave the limit order there in case we spike. And then we'll leave the runners. We gotta do multiples of 5. I'm gonna full close the position on here if we get up there on my funded accounts. So I'm gonna be full closing here on my funded accounts. Because I'm copy trading and I have to do limits of 5, I don't really have a choice. There's an SMT here, by the way, currently. But assuming we get there, I'm gonna be full closing. And the reason I'm full closing is because I have to choose between partialing. The partials don't make sense. I'm not trading on one account. I'm copy trading and each account has 5. So when you use the Trade copier, every single order you put in has to be multiples of 5. So it really makes no sense. So we're just gonna close it there. I'm currently out of the position on my funded accounts. So hopefully you guys, I don't know, cover your risk, do what you gotta do. But on my funded accounts, I am out. And that's like 1.5 R, which I will gladly take because this was uncomfortable. So I close it here, 581 on the SMT. This is an eval. Wait, did we pass? How much do we need to make? 26.5? And here it was 26.3? Well, that's not gonna cover. I guess the runners will have to pay. Well, here if we get 26.4, let's do some math. 50. We get an extra 25 points from the high. Should cover. Something like this should cover. Anyways, there's an SMT here. I closed the position on my funded accounts. So hopefully you guys, I don't know, I'm not saying you guys should close it, but I'm going to be honest. I know some of you guys are copy trading me, so just know that I'm no longer in this position on my funded accounts. In fact, let's just make this super simple. Click sell. Did it go through? I'm going to click it again. All right, there it went through. I'm just taking it there on the SMT, and then we'll leave runners. Get another NWOG here support. Yeah, we're inside NWOG. We can get above it, use it. That'd be nice. What do we need to pass this account? We need 70 bucks. 70 bucks from here. What's 70 bucks for 2 micros? 20 points. 15 points, 30, 20 points. 20, 40, 40, 80. All right, well, if we get our limit here, we pass. If not, well, we'll get another trade. Let me double check that we didn't pass the account, man. I'm not trying to do something stupid. We need 35. 35 from here. 35 is... Feel like we passed, bro. $10 from the high here. 5 points times 2, 2.5. I think we passed it at like 604. So we'll see. ES almost at Friday's high. I would leave another runner here. I wouldn't close. By the way, if I was in this position, I would let this run more. But this is, I'm not going to hold it for demonstration purposes. I think all these levels will get hit today. Every single one of these, I think will get hit. This passes the account for me. So there's no point. We do have an Event Horizon situation going on here, I think. Strange things could happen. ES takes Asia highs. I'm gonna be like $1 away. I'm gonna move this higher, man. I'm not even about to trip. I just realized, wait, TikTok stream open? Oh, okay, TikTok's still here. I just realized I didn't have the TikTok chat open. It could have been long gone. Looks like we might retrace here. Don't you have the 40%? What 40% rule? Recap, please. Yeah, sure. We can do a recap. We need $3 to pass. I think passing is literally at like 604. So we could just get it, man. I honestly think we already passed. 10 cents. We need 10 cents. Oh wait, we passed and then we unpassed. Okay, there. We passed. Solid trade, man. I would leave runners. I would leave runners if I could, but I can't. Solid. I still think it's gonna go higher, at least on ES. Solid. That was not easy, guys. I'm gonna be straight up. I was not feeling good in this. Oh my. That's a nice feeling too. NWAG. Right in that horizon. What is Event Horizon? The best way it's the 50% between two NWAG NDogs, I believe. Recap? Sure, we can do a recap. First things first, we were bullish the entire day. Never once did I consider taking a short, and that's key. We're in very deep discount. We use this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. I don't use orb, so I'm the wrong person to ask. This is a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. Okay. This is a 1-minute CISD. So at this point in time, as soon as this candle formed at 9:53, I'm expecting this low to not get taken. If you want to use the breaker, the invert, whatever. That's our first CISD from the key level. Once this formed, I can take a long. Notice how I did not long here. I was not convinced in the idea. So I waited. Price expanded, retraced into a bullish fair value gap. Now, and what I used as an entry was right here, 30-second inversion. But it doesn't matter. The premise is, I wanted to take a buy, but I just wanted a better fill, because I wasn't expecting this low to get taken. Once we put in this low, I was not expecting that to get taken. And that's it. Pretty simple. We managed our risk here. Yeah, we made a little bit less money, but I don't care. You know how uncomfortable this hold was? I'm protecting myself. Taking a small position off here easy target is the buy side. And then your external objectives, you leave runners. Pretty simple trade. This was pretty much the only opportunity you had to get in. I'm going to be straight up with you. This is a unicorn. If you trade the unicorn, this would be your setup. Probably people will take this and say they traded the unicorn setup today. And that's fine. You can do that. I wouldn't be opposed to taking another trade, to be honest, if we get a nice retracement. So I don't think our session's over yet. Look at that trade right into the top into OB seconds. Nice, bro. Yeah, if we get a nice retracement, I actually wouldn't mind re-entering. Obviously not on this account. This account we just passed, but let's put this in the journal now just to save time. Yeah, I know. I'm totally open to taking another trade. I still believe in the objectives higher. We just need to wait for a retracement, another protraction. Maybe this 5-minute fair value gap. So we'll see. Once Friday's high is taken, though, that's pretty much it. Sell side's at the bottom. Thoughts about 1 hour IFEG? It will probably inverse. I just passed the funded next account, yeah. Okay, this is a rapid account with funded next, this one. But I took this on all my fundeds, obviously. Actually, not all of them, but my Apex ones. Those are the ones I'm focusing on right now. The only indicators I have, it's like this watermark. And then one that marks out opening prices for me. Just saves me time. They don't actually give me any information. Advantage or anything. If you closed it early, as long as you had a good reason to, it doesn't matter. The names of the indicators, I will put them up right here and you can see. How do you find your bias? Daily chart. All in the daily chart today. What optimal size for 50K? What optimal size of what? You think we'll get all-time high on ES tomorrow? Could be today, bro. What company? This is not stocks. This is the NASDAQ futures market. So it's not an individual stock. Or are you asking about my stocks? Should we check on the stocks? I think we're up pretty good, I'm going to be honest. I had some sniper stock entries this week. What? They're not even up that much. I thought for sure stuff would start pumping after seeing this on NASDAQ. I guess I was wrong. Oh well. No biggie. You feeling FOMO? Secure 2R for the bad fill? That's fine. Would you take it? Yeah, I would take a protraction. I would take a protraction. Any one of you guys using CFDs? If so, what platform do you choose? Use funded next, bro. I think their CFDs are pretty good. Ended an 8-day losing streak today and back in profit. Nice, bro. 8-day losing streak. I feel you, bro. It happens. Do you hold individual stock? Yep. Individual stocks. Left to run to equal highs. What do you think? Good trade? Yeah, I would leave a runner to Friday's high if it was me. Like, if you have one, depends how much you have running and where your stop is. Say your stop's here or your stop's here. Yeah, just aim for the equal highs. But, like, realistically, okay, equal highs, 1 micro, that's an extra $50. If you leave it for Friday's high, that's like an extra $150. It's probably worth it to just leave it run. Depends on the situation. You ever blow on your screen to move price? No. But what was that app Trump tweets on? It's called, I forget what it's called, bro. Something weird that he uses. What has your biggest losing streak been like this summer? This summer, I haven't had any bad losing streaks. Maybe 2. It's called Truth Social, yeah. That's what it's called. This summer hasn't been too bad for me. But I've went on bad losing streaks before. what firm do you recommend once I max out alpha? I would personally recommend Apex. I know it's harder to get payouts, but nothing can beat 20 accounts. How long from your first day you started watching trading videos to know? It's been 2 hours, 2 years, 2 years exactly. Who and how did you learn to get into stocks? I actually learned completely by myself, kind of. The way I learned stocks was from studying the CanSlim model. Did I care about the size of my first payout? No. Just remember, if you can get a $500 payout, you can get a $10,000 payout. Good thing I didn't flip bearish. Yeah. I mean, it would have been tough. Please learn me. You can add Spanish subtitles. I see Maxi Blueprint and yeah, I can try to do that right after the stream. My Fund of Futures is a pretty solid firm. To me, though, like, My Fund of Futures, they don't have any excelling thing. Like, to me, I'd rather use Alpha than My Fund of Futures. So for me, there's no point in using My Fund of Futures because Alpha is just, to me, like, makes more sense. You know? How hard is the KYC process on it? Same as any other funded account. Revenge traded so badly today, but I bottom take the giant move. Never again, though. I hate this. Actually caught that long bottom take and added after 5 days losing streak. This feels good. That best rules is alpha. Not necessarily best rules, but easiest payout. Like, if you haven't gotten one payout, do alpha first. If you haven't gotten like any money, use alpha first. Alpha has the easiest payouts. Like, it's just so easy, man. It doesn't really get you. You just need 3 wins. That's it. $200. To be honest, the funded next is just as easy. The funded next is just as easy to get the payout, but the only thing is you'll blow the account if you get the payout on funded next. So you have to like use that method that we talked about. On alpha, you can get the payout and you can still use the account. You're gonna have a large amount to go with. I go with standards, but I would recommend to someone new to get the 0 first, get a payout on the 0, and then move to the standard. Standard's more expensive. So on a standard, if you want to make your money back with small payouts, you got to get a couple. But the next, yeah. I wish his friend worked in South Africa. So what do you use, left for guap? Out of curiosity, is copy trading? Yes, it's possible. What's the buffer you recommend for taking a payout? What firm? What account? On alpha, I don't go for a buffer. I just take payout. But then why go with standard? Because of the higher max payout. The higher max payout, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So if you plan on slowly getting the account, so say you take a $500 payout every 2 weeks, but if you're making more, your account still slowly gets up there. You don't have to rush it. You're still getting paid in the process of building a buffer. I do read TikTok chat. No, I'm reading TikTok chat when I'm not trading. When I'm trading, I usually only look at YouTube. But now that we took a trade, it's going to be a while. You know, the next setup we would want would be something like this. I wouldn't mind taking that. What leverage do you owe the broker? I'm trading prop firms right now. What did you mean by you'll blow your accounts when you get a pay from the next? I mean, if you get 800, if you make $800 on funded next and you request $800, you lose the account. You get the $800 and you make your money, but the account gets blown. On Alpha, if you make $800, Alpha is the only firm that you can do this. By the way, it's the only firm. If you make $800, you can request $800, and then you still have $1,200 left to work with. Alpha Futures is the only firm. If you take a max payout under the buffer, you can still keep the account. If you ask 90%, you'll have 10% left. The account's pretty much going to blow. If you have 800, you request 700, you only have $100 left. You only trade smaller time frames. This was 10 out of 10. I mean, the delivery was 10 out of 10 after we got this candle at 10:05. Is your activation fee not on the 0 account? On the standard account, yes. The delivery was nice. Was the trade A+? No. I'm going to be completely honest. The trade was not A+. I'm completely honest. I give it an A. It's not a bad trade. Strong CISD, fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap, deep discount, strong bullish bias. Delivery was not the best though. Retell the buffer rule. For what firm? Isn't there like a margin, like 8% drawdown? On what firm? On Alpha? There's no buffer rule on Alpha. You don't need a buffer. On Alpha, if you're eligible for payout, you can take it. You don't have to make a certain amount of money. How many accounts can you have on Alpha? The maximum is 3. So maximum is 350Ks. Is Top Step as easy? No, it's a little bit harder. But Top Step's not. The issue with Top Step is you need to build a buffer. You don't need to, but you would. I would highly recommend you do, because if you don't, you're not really going to make any money from the prop firm. Alpha to pass. The zero account, pass in 1 day. The standard account, 2 days. You ever trade stop aggressively? Yeah. My stop would be right here. This OB. And that's aggressive. But I'll tell you why I can put my stop here. Is because if we take this low, it means we're trading down into this price range. And I can just re-enter. So I might as well put my stop aggressively here. If it gets souped and I'll just re-enter. If I don't get the re-entry, well then obviously it's going to come down even lower and I get stopped. So the best scenario is to put your stop here and re-enter if you want. Risk some profits if you want. You need to pay activation fees for alpha futures, and can you pay with your profits? 1, no, you cannot pay. No funded firm can you do that. 2, there's no activation fee on the zero account. So if you want a cheaper account to start with, get a zero account first. Is there something about Apex other than the 30% rule? No, to pass, there's no rules to pass on Apex. Literally just make the amount of money and don't blow the account. On Apex, the rules to get a payout, they're not that bad. You just have to know them all and just follow them. And that's the prop firms. 30% consistency, minimum balance, minimum trading days. That's the big 3. Nothing really crazy. And then the contract scaling rule. How much is a zero account? I think with a discount code, you can get it for $70. Have you tried Top Step? Yeah. I've gotten payouts with Top Step. Top Step's was my first ever prop firm. I love Top Step. Top Step's a great prop firm. There's nothing wrong with Top Step. It's just you're going to have to take a little bit more time on your Top Step account. Be a little bit more patient with your Top Step account before you get your first payout or your second, or, you know. You have to build a buffer, you know. You want to get above $2,000 and make money above $2,000 on Top Step. Why is there a profit split on the funders when they are not live? They just don't want to pay you the full amount, bro. To be completely honest. You're able to quit your job? I quit my job even when I was not able to quit my job. I'm confused as a German with payout functions on Alpha. What's the best provider? I would just use Wise. I use Wise. No complaints. FTMO is a great Forex firm. How do you identify high resistance? That red box right there. This one too. You guys are lucky that prop firms you mentioned don't allow it in your country when you have to get first 8% and 5% probably get live on it. Yeah. You have to do the CFDs. Apex does not have a zero account. They just have the 1 account. You think your entry was good? Yeah. I can't complain about my entry. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. When conditions are not good, I try to... I did that, right? As soon as we got this candle here at 10:05, I put my stop right here. Good shit, Robert. Appreciate you. Good trade, bro. I'm assuming you took that too. And that's what I did here. Technically, according to my rules, there's no reason to put my stop here. It should still stay right here. It should be here, but I had to use some leniency. Could you say that was power 3? Brother, every trade is a power 3. But if you want me to draw it out for you so it's really clear, watch closely. You ready? 9:30. This line is 9:30 open. You see this? Does this look familiar? Let's go to the books. Let's go to the textbook. Let's open up the textbook. Does this look familiar? Let's just see how textbook this setup really was. I mean, come on, bro. It's literally straight from the textbook. 9:30 open, 9:30 open. We go up. I even have the up annotation that we go up above 9:30 open. This is an A+ textbook example. 9:30 goes up. That's right here. Then we break down. We break down. Then we get a little short-term high. That's right here. And then we break down one more time into that level. How's this not A+? Because the delivery. The way this formed on the 1 minute is not that clean. But it's a textbook. That's why I said it's an A setup. A+, we just need a little bit more. It even tells you the time. Macro, intermediate power 3, that's 10 a.m. or 10:30, or lunch. What is this? This is the macro. Like, textbook. Straight from the textbook. Gaddy, how'd you take this trade? What'd you take? It's the same trade every time, man. 9:30 reversal model. Take the breaker, CISD. It's right here. It's pretty much where my entry was. This low is safe. And you target the draw. Profit, look, you partial here in case you're wrong, and then you leave the rest. That's exactly what we did. Partialed here, we left the rest. Textbook. It's not an A+ trade. I'm saying that example, this example here denotes a textbook A+ example. It doesn't mean every time it's always gonna form this way, one way or another. You know, when it's a real 9:30 distribution, it's always gonna form with these lines. So if you remove the candles and just the lines, A+. But this is sloppy. This is real sloppy. This is very far below 9:30. There isn't a clean accumulation. The candles here are really sloppy. Here we inverse first presentation, come back. It's high resistance signature. It's like signatures that you don't want to see when price is clearly bullish, you know? Shouldn't be seeing signatures like this. This candle, think about it. We tapped the fair value gap. We should be immediately expanding. Get the order block here. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. 10 minutes to get above this 1 minute candle. It can't be A+. Impossible. Where'd you get this textbook? That's from mine. That's my model. It's from myself. Why is everyone saying 6, 7? Wait, why is everyone saying 6, 7 in my chat? You only pay that once you pass. Why is everyone saying? Bro, what's going on, man? Why is everyone spamming 67? 67 is a meme? Oh, that's funny. Can we get 67 copies of the book? The first those examples are on my YouTube channel. You can take them from my Gems PO3 playlist. You're getting Unk status. I'm 22. Bro, the fact people call me Unk and actually mean it is crazy. You think the video earnings will be mid today? I think the expectations are too high. I think it'll be around whatever the estimate is. But like I said, just because earnings are green doesn't mean the market's gonna be bullish. Just remember that. Just remember. I hope it is. How much would you risk on a 50K funded? I risk 150. I got stopped out taking long IFD 148 candle. Well, that's fine. Is it in your rules to take this trade? Fastest first payout, Alpha Futures. Oh, no, actually. Do you want to keep the account after? If so, Alpha Futures. If you don't mind that you blow the account after, then it's actually funded next. What is the activation fee on past Alpha account? On funded next, you can get a payout in a total of 4 days. You pass? No, 3 days. You pass, get the account, trade 1, 2, 3, payout on the 3rd day. Crazy. What is activation fee on a pass? All activation fees on alpha for standard accounts are 150. How did you come up with the form of your model? Form of your model and setup. First, I learned everything to do with ICT. Zero account for alpha will be 5 days. I learned everything to do with ICT. Then I went to backtest. I skipped to 11:30 because I knew I wanted to trade 9:30 to 11:30, and I kept taking screenshots. I also was backtesting. This model I trade now is a variation of just ICT's 2022 model. There's nothing wrong with Top Step. I just recommend people who want to trade Top Step, trade Alpha first. Once you get payouts on Alpha, then use that money to go into Top Step. I've seen every ICT mentorship. What's the max number of eval accounts you can get once with Alpha? 3. That was funded next. How much is it funded? For which account? PO3 final boss? I definitely think I'm one of the better PO3 traders. GatieTrades gave me a refund because I asked them to, and now I still have to active eval. What do I do? Just trade it, bro. Guys, there's nothing wrong with the other firms. But guys, you can get a payout with any firm. The only thing I'm suggesting, look at that snipe, by the way. That's beautiful. The only thing I'm suggesting is, ideally, if you're struggling with payouts, first payout, Alpha Futures. So what you screenshot? 11. I screenshotted price action from 9:30 to 11:30, and then I study it. I'm like, okay, I make my annotations. Where do I want to enter? Where do I consistently see a clean setup that makes sense? Where am I comfortable putting my stop? You know, that's another thing that people don't think. Where am I comfortable putting my stop so that I can trust the trade? Does Fund Next have trailing drawdown? End of day trading drawdown. Does Alpha have any hidden rules? There's no hidden rules. It's all there if you read. The main one, there's only one that people don't know about. If you trade on a standard account or a zero account, so not the advanced, the lower two, you cannot enter 2 minutes before or after high impact news. So red folder news. That's the only rule. They won't take the account away from you, but they'll take away any profits. If I'm struggling to pass top step fast enough, should I try alpha or just size up? In terms of passing, they're pretty much the same firm. The zero account might be easier because you can pass in one day. But so there's one eval on zero on alpha with 3K profit. Yeah, the 50K. You recommend a futures account or a CFD one to trade Nasdaq? I would recommend futures. I'm gonna revenge trade my ex. Don't do that, bro. You're just gonna regret it after. I have used Top. My first payouts were with TopStep. I love TopStep. TopStep's a great firm, man. It's just Alpha's a little bit easier. If you lose, do they take away the loss? No. If they lose, they'll put a flag on your account and tell you. They'll send you an email like they can deny your payout. Sometimes they don't, but they can. I know some people who have been denied because they traded news. I think if they do, I think if you do it once, they're like kind of whatever. If you do it twice, then they're like, alright. You could enter here if we get this inversion. Make sure you include the volume and balance. I'd probably just tape read this. We finally got that 5-minute. If this inversion forms, you can re-enter this trade. 1050 macro, protraction model. Stop at the order block low. So you target the Asia highs. That's a 1.5 R. Best case scenario, Friday high, 2.5 R. We'd have to get the inversion though. Did we get previous day's equilibrium? Oops. Oh, that's clean. That's a clean reaction of pre. Oh, that's too clean, man. That's really clean. I'm gonna be honest. Wow. Cool. Yeah, you did say. I mean, I had that level in my mind. We talked about it in, I don't know if you were here, pre-market. We talked about that level in pre-market, saying I wouldn't want to see it go any lower below previous day's equilibrium. Like that would be my max. And hey, I guess it did. Gonna make these annotations now so that when I journal, it's gonna be really easy. I guess I'll keep the executions for now. Did I take a screenshot of the executions already? Yes, I did. I don't need the executions. Solid day, I guess. Yeah, you could take this inversion. I'm not going to, but you definitely could. In fact, I think it just formed on ES, so we can tape read this trade together. Protraction model. 1050 macro. Say you got in right now. Stop at the low. Something like this. Still looking to take a trade. I don't think I'll take another one. Just a little bit too uneventful here. But this technically would be a model. I wouldn't give it A+, but it's solid. I wouldn't give it an A because it's pretty far in premium now. But we're still below midnight open, so we'll see. Tape read. You just can't keep calm. You gotta practice, or you gotta figure out what's making you not calm and adjust. What do you trade? When do you trade PM if there's expand? I trade PM every day, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern time. If I'm free, if I'm busy, well, obviously I can't trade PM then. You know. Why add the volume with FAC up over below? Yeah, you're right. I just realized I couldn't be bothered to explain that right now, though. But you are right. I didn't see that wick. The line covered it up here. But you can use it on ES. So you see ES a lot cleaner. Do you always trade AM? I'm only looking for 1R in the PM, so it's pretty easy to find 1R most days. This reaction started after the market hit the true day open. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that's very common because it's sort of a reset. It's like we reached back into premium, so it would make sense that we don't just go right through midnight open most times. Why did you take a long? Well, I was bullish. If you're asking why I was bullish, because the main reason is the weekly power of 3. Second main reason is ES all-time high is a strong draw on liquidity. 2 p.m. Eastern time. The session starts at 1:30. I trade it 2 p.m. to like 3 p.m. Eastern time. Wasn't there a 4-hour break of structure on NQ? Maybe, but that's never something I've ever looked at. The bullish break of structure right here. Yeah. The IPG was there, yeah. We took a win. We took one trade today, one win. Are you in long? This is a tape read, meaning I'm not in this trade, but my model did form, so we can study it. See if it plays out. This stands for previous day's equilibrium. So price came all the way down, touched discount of yesterday's range, which is a discount level, and then we get the expansion. I don't usually like seeing that, but because today was so bearish pre-market, it kind of makes sense. 100%. That's why I mark out at midnight and 8:30. I'll trade PM today. I don't think I'll push the button here in the morning again, but I'll trade PM session. Have you tried to implement the pyramid entry ICT in your strategy? I have a scaling method in my model. The issue is there's consistency rules with the prop firms I trade, so it's not easy to scale in sometimes. Ooh. Um, well, yeah, pretty solid day. Equilibrium candle only or candle the entire day, highest high to lowest low on the day. Can you explain why you are long? I'm not in a long right now. I'm tape reading a long right now, but pretty simple. 5-minute bullish fair value gap, 1-minute inversion, 1050 macro, below midnight, and I'm still bullish because the objective's higher. Simple idea. Do I use AlphaTix or TradeAvate? It's up to you. I use AlphaTix because it's built-in copy trader. Also, I use TradeAvate on Apex, so I don't want 2 sets of TradeAvate accounts. But it doesn't matter. It's all preference. If you're only gonna have one account, no other prop firm, I'd probably get TradeAvate. AlphaTix is a great platform. I would use AlphaTix, bro. What platform do you use? I use TradeAvate and AlphaTix. From 1 till 1 is PM. PM session is 1:30 PM to 4:15 PM Eastern time. I traded from 2 to 3 PM though, only. So, no other trades for me. How the 265 for 3 days for FN work? No, why would that be against the consistency rule? That's like perfectly, that's like 5% consistent almost. That's like 100%. That'd be 0% consistency if you get 265, 265, 265. That's like perfect. You're so good. How do you remove the balance on top of alpha ticks? Go to settings. It's in like the settings privacy or something. You know my fun. I know my fun and features. Yeah. I use TradeAvate to copy trade my Apex, and I use AlphaTix to copy trade my Alpha. Is there a max payout with the zero plan? Zero plan is 1500 max. Put the subtitles. Is there an easy way to do that? Do I just click like one button? You said episode 14 or all of them? I can try. I'll look into it right after this. We'll call it soon here. Just got funded this morning taking longs. Nice, bro. I don't know where I can how. I don't know where I can how you. What do you mean how me? It says not more than 4 minutes totally rated. No. A7. Calculate it from your total profit when you request payout. How hard is it to get payout with Apex? It's not that hard, but you gotta follow the rules. Stay patient. If you're profitable, it's not that hard. Or if you can go on win streaks, not that hard. Can you explain your model? No, I cannot. But my YouTube videos can explain them really well. Take care, Kispe. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Are you long? No, this is a tape read. After 1500, what happened? Did I wait till then withdraw again? You can do 1500 every week if you want. Would you trail stop loss at 53590? Yes. If you're in this trade, you should, because we took out a short-term low here, closed above, reduce your stop by 50%. So pretty good trade already. But you got it. You know exactly what it is right there. Any trade that allows you to stop, reduce your stop, great trade. Great trade. What would you target now? Same thing. Friday high. You can look for it on ES because ES is closer. So just make sure you're watching the S&P chart. ES is a lot closer to Friday's high. Remember, it doesn't have to actually hit the level. It's just the draw on liquidity. You know? You think we go lower until we take out Friday's high? What? You mean higher until we take out Friday's high? Let's say I made 3K, I can take out 1.5 and not trade till next week and take another 1.5. No, you'd have to get another 5 winning days, and then you can request the 1500 again. What account size do you recommend? 50Ks. I use 50Ks. I like 50Ks. You're improving in holding trades and patience. Got you, bro. I'm glad you're improving. That's what matters. Apex has activation fees, yes. I can understand the consistency rule. I thought if you make founder, you can't make what? No. Don't go trade by trade. That would be impossible to. That would be so confusing. Don't go trade by trade with the consistency rules. A7, it's as simple as this. When you go to request a payout and you click request payout, whatever your total profit is, calculate 40% of that. So let's say you want to request $10,000 because it's easy number. Your best day cannot be 4,000%. Do you actually think an account without consistency rule is better? It's definitely a better thing to not have a consistency rule, but it doesn't necessarily mean the account is better. Alpha has a consistency rule, but I will gladly trade with consistency rule if it means using alpha futures. Bottom tick 490. Are you proud of me? You got 490 as a fill? That's pretty insane, bro. I'm gonna be honest. If you got 490 as a fill, that's pretty insane. Why are 50K is more favorited? Because most firms, it's actually easier to pass the 50K and to get a payout on the 50K than the other ones because you have more drawdown to profit ratio. But on alpha futures, they're actually all the same. Because on alpha futures, the 100K, you have $4,000 of drawdown. On the 150K, you have $6,000 of drawdown. So, or, yeah, 6,000. So you actually have more. What's the minimum payout with Apex? I think it's 500 for a 50K, and then it goes up depending on the account you have. Any chance of sell? There's always a chance of sell. But I would personally still be bullish. I ticked around the C, even hourly or RB. Nice, cool. Would you say holding the longs from the bottom to NQ to all-time high again is safe? You could hold to, I wouldn't say all-time high on NQ, but all-time high on ES. That's an objective that's probably in the reach. That's right here. NQ is kind of far. It's going to be a while, if ever. We don't know. This trade looks like it sucks, bro. I'm going to be honest. If you're in this trade, you're probably feeling like shit right now. I'm going to remove the tape read there. Yeah, pretty simple day. You know, we're staying sideways in NWAG. Oh, you're in this trade? Yeah, it's not easy. Especially when ES is making higher highs. Not easy. ES making higher highs, NASDAQ going sideways. That's always the worst. When you're in a trade and like one index is playing it out and the other one is just like not. That always sucks. That's exactly what I would do, A7. Make 265 each day. Request a payout. Count blown. Repeat the process. How fast can I request a payout with Apex after I get the account? You could do it in a minimum of 8 days. I feel like I want to camera. How fast can I request? Yeah, 8 days is the minimum. Any chance? Yeah, always a chance, but again, it's probabilities. Probabilities. 11 a.m. hour. Is there an hourly fair value gap? 15 minute, 30 minute. 30 minutes pretty clean. But we're going to call it there, boys. I appreciate you guys coming through. Pretty nice. I'm going to say nice trading day, but interesting one. Let's remove that. Asia high, Friday's high. Just making some annotations for my journal. Yeah, I think we're going to get the 30-minute fair value gap. Making annotations for the journal. Where does volume come from all the time? What do you mean volume? The 30-minute fair value gap is over here. Interesting. Yeah. NWOG. Notice how the setups for turning to NWOG are always the best. Probably all I want to keep and capture. I guess I'll mark this because it's probably going to give a setup. Let's see. But I'll leave these annotations for now. How many micros for a 50K? 5? I think so. 5. Did I get out of my long right now? My average fill is 2, 3, 5, 7, 2. I mean, it could get there. That's hard to say. That's pretty hard to say, I'm being honest. Dalton TGR. Sure, he's a great guy. Do you think it was A+? I wouldn't give this A+. I give it like an A. You need advice? Alright, what would you need advice for, bro? It's the last thing I'll do before I head out. FEG and BISI, it's the same thing. I'll tell you what the difference is. A fair value gap, you expect it to be retraced into and offer a fair value. A BISI, just a buy side imbalance. It's like saying like ice cream versus chocolate ice cream. How did you find previous day's equilibrium? The highest high and lowest low of yesterday's price range. Take an anchored fib, the highest high to lowest low, 50% level. That's previous day's equilibrium. Like I said, but there's no difference when it comes to viewing them and seeing them. It's simply a characteristic difference. A fair value gap, you actually expect the fair value gap to get traded into. You know, that's the only difference. You expect the fair value gap to get traded into. Thoughts on TJR? Oh yeah, good guy, I guess. Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys coming through. I will see you guys live tomorrow, exact same time. I will trade PM session. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Until next time, peace. Take care, brothers.